Northcentral Nfused, the official podcast of Northcentral Electric Cooperative. In our 14-month history, we've been doing this for 16 months.
Yeah.
This is the first time on the road. This is outside of the conference room. We are in Jackson, Mississippi for the Youth Leadership Program 2020, and we are joined by Ron Stewart. Say hi.
Good evening.
Technically, for 1.5 times on a podcast. And Alyssa Fulton, the director of the program this year.
Hello.
Hey, so real quick, can you guys work for the Electric Cooperatives of Mississippi, the state, what we call statewide, and you guys kind of oversee a lot of what the cooperatives around Mississippi do, electric cooperatives do around Mississippi. But we're here to talk about the Youth Leadership Program, so tell us real quick what you guys do for this program.
Well, the Electric Cooperatives of Mississippi is a statewide association, so we're the one that actually provides and does the oversight for the Youth Leadership Workshop, and then also for the Youth Tour that will come up in June. This program's in its 33rd year of existence, and it's been very, very successful. And I think it's a great program that we do for the students across the state of Mississippi, and the Electric Cooperatives of Mississippi and all the other ones get a true benefit from it.
And Alyssa?
Yes, so Ron handed over the reins to me last year, and so this is a program that I'm really passionate about, and I really, just have a passion for these juniors, and they're just the best of the best in our state, and we get to see them come together, make friends, show their leadership qualities, and it's just a real joy to see them.
And what do you do for the program?
Well,
didn't ask you.
Well, this is, I guess, my 7th workshop because we started about the same year.
We did.
So, in addition to the other duties I have at Northcentral Electric Cooperative, I'm having to correct myself.
It is a hard habit to break, is it not?
It is.
Because we rebranded last week, and now we are Northcentral Electric Cooperative, and we are still saying the other word that we're not supposed to say.
Take 2 or 3. I'm the local coordinator for the Youth Leadership Program through Northcentral Electric Cooperative. So I work with Alyssa and with Ron and the other statewide staff to help facilitate and I guess serve as an advisor to our 15 students that we sent this year, in addition to the other 73 students
88
that are
total.
here statewide.
And I might say, while we plan the program and kind of manage it and put it on, it is totally funded through all the electric cooperatives in Mississippi, and they're the ones that actually support this program and make the program work. It's our job just to kind of coordinate the activities here once they get here in Jackson and when they go to DC. So we really do appreciate the support of the people like Northcentral Electric Cooperative and the other ones throughout the state that are a part of this program.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Alyssa, I've got to point this out. You've interviewed every one of these students that is here today.
Just about.
Just about. So
Yes.
there may be 1 or 2 that you missed.
Yes.
But I mean, scheduling, whatever. But
Yes.
So how many students across the state do you interview
Oh gosh.
outside of, because there is an elimination process here.
There is an elimination process, Justin. So the schools that are served by the electric cooperatives, or the members that go to these schools, their children are qualified for the program. So you can have anywhere from like 40 to 50 kids like we interview for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them may only have 15, but it's growing every year. So I would say through essays, interviews, and just the selection process, probably about 900 students go through it every year.
And you and what was the statistic is that electric cooperatives serve 80% of the land mass in Mississippi.
Yes.
So you know 80% of the state pretty well, it sounds
Pretty well.
Beautiful part of the state.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I'll add this, that different co-ops do it a different way. Some host a co-op university, and they're able to, through their school districts, host students to come and have a competition on learn about electric cooperatives and have a competition to be chosen for this. Other co-ops have different qualifiers. Like
Yes.
Northcentral, we require an essay. And with as many schools as we serve in DeSoto and Marshall counties, it's just virtually impossible to get kids out of school and have them come do something like that. So we have them do an essay, and then we grade those essays independently, and then I ask Alyssa to form a team of interviewers, fellow co-op employees, to come up and we go around the schools and actually interview them, and it's just such a hard choice sometimes to break those down, right?
Yeah, it's so wonderful too, because not only do we get to meet the students, but we get to meet their teachers, we get to meet their counselors, and then as the program goes on and whoever's selected, we get to meet their parents. So there's so many Mississippians and cooperative members that we're getting to meet throughout this program, not just the students.
And we also should recognize the growth of the program too, because 1991, when I started, I think we had 18 students from across the state that participated in the program. This year's record number of 88. So we're really impacting a lot of students from across the state. The systems are growing with their numbers. North Central is sending more than they have in the past, and a lot of our other systems. So I think that speaks well for the quality of the program, what we are presenting to these young people when they come to Jackson, and then I think that makes a difference. So that's what it's all about, bottom line, at the end of the day, making a difference in these young people's life and encouraging them to go out and do that with the others in their community and school.
Yeah, and we couldn't do that without the support of our board and management team, because they're gracious enough to allow me to budget to send these students, and what it does for them is it empowers them. It gives them an opportunity to see state government at work, to get a little bit of Mississippi history that's not in the curriculums there are today. But you touched on the history of the program. I guess there's nobody better to talk about the history of the program than you. Could you give us kind of an overview of how this got started from a statewide and a national perspective?
Well, from the national perspective, it started, I guess, back in the 60s when I think a group from Texas actually was the first group to go to D.C. Senator Lyndon Johnson was actually serving at that point in time, and he's the one that kind of brought that together and got that to happen. And so it just kind of grew from that. And then I guess it was in maybe 87 when Mississippi decided they wanted to participate. And if I remember the story correctly, there was a couple students and a couple advisors from systems that went with a group from Tennessee and went to DC on the youth tour and thought it was a great program. Came back, presented it to the statewide board, which North Central was a part of, and I'll be proud to say that North Central was one of the founding fathers of the program. They was actually in the program at the very beginning, and so they were a part of this establishing the program and been certainly a big part of the success of the program. So it just grew from that. We always done a workshop. Some of the states only do the tour and go to DC, but we felt like it was an important part of the program to do the workshop and have some team building exercises and do some training, expose them to state government, as you mentioned, teach them a little bit more about our state. There's just so many things that we can do with them when we bring them here to Jackson in this group. Plus, they get to see folks much like them too from other parts of the state, which is really, I think, becomes a vital part of the program, because they get to talk to someone from the coastal area and get to make friends with them, and friends that they'll have for a lifetime. Yeah. So the program from that just grew as we kept pouring our hearts and soul into it, because we believed in the program. And as Alyssa says, she has a passion. I'm a little older than Alyssa, but I still have a passion too of being around the young people and watching this program grow. And it just makes my heart feel good when I see more and more students getting a chance to take advantage of this opportunity that y'all provide.
Yep. And to give you a rundown of the 3 days that they spend here, so we bring them in Wednesday, and they immediately go into leadership training and workshop and understanding what it is to work with a team of people and lead those people, and we take away their cell phones for a couple of hours, which is unheard of for most teenagers.
Yeah. We lose a few teenagers and they pass out, but we get them back pretty quick. Yeah.
Then we're recording this on a Thursday, so this morning they met with their area legislators, had breakfast with them, had conversations with them, toured the Capitol, came back, more workshops, more teamwork building exercises, and So really, and then tomorrow morning they'll have breakfast, and then we'll have some awards and a guest speaker, and then we'll send them on their way. So what is your favorite part of this 3 days that you get to spend here?
So for me, it was extra special this year because we had visits from the governor, the lieutenant governor, and the secretary of state. And so for these young people to say, hey, these people are coming to see me, I think that's just really important because they realize these are just, they're leaders in our state, but they're really invested in these young people because they want to see our state grow. And so for me, it is really just the support that we get from our state government.
Ron?
Yeah, that's certainly a highlight of the program. I think one of the biggest things for myself is when it's over with, to see these young people come up to you and be so thankful for the 3 days that you have spent with them, and for them to realize that there's older people that really care about them, that really want to help them. And I think they leave here knowing that they've got a large group of adults who are willing to help them as they move forward, and and see what we offer them. I think they're so thankful for that, and it makes me feel good because the news, the media, all the time are talking about all the bad things that are going on. But this is such a positive thing that
Absolutely.
It just really makes you feel good to watch you in just 3 days to see how a lot of these students go from this, to a higher level of involvement and really ready to go back to their communities and their schools and make a difference.
I guess for me, I guess for me in this program, it's just exciting to see students get an enthusiasm for our state again. We grow up here, and a lot of times we have big dreams of going off to college and leaving the state for bigger and better things, but we want to expose them to what all is here in the state. When they make connections with students from the coast all the way up to the Golden Triangle and DeSoto County, we try and expose them to the good things that there are in this state, and then hopefully we'll get them back here. It's okay if they go off and go to college, but we want them to have a dream to come back to Mississippi and promote the state for the good things that we have here.
And that brings up another point as far as the things that you see happening at this program is later on in life. That you see these young people that came through the program that are working on staff in D.C. You see them, at church. You see them in other activities. I saw a gentleman just the other day that came through our program about 8 years ago, and he's on the Secretary of State's staff. And he mentioned the program and how it had an impact on his life. That in itself is worth what we do.
Exactly. We had one that I guess came through about 4 years ago because he just graduated college in May, and he was working at the White House. So, it's incredible what these kids are doing, and we get to be a small part of that.
Yeah.
So, or maybe even a large part.
I think that, today watching one of our students that came through here, and he just left the Capitol going, I had no idea I could be a part of something like this. I think that's what really makes that difference and hopefully steers them in the direction that we're really hoping that we see them succeed. We want to thank you guys for taking 10 minutes. I know this is the busiest time of year for you guys. So 12 minutes with you guys is incredible. So
Hey, we were glad to sit down.
Slow down.
They were, this is an exciting weekend, or week, but it wears you out.
Yes.
So
Worth every minute of
But
it.
we're going to be back with Northcentral Nfused, and we're actually going to interview some of the Northcentral students that were involved in this. So we're looking forward to that.
Well, again, thank y'all for your participation and support of the program.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
don't know what
thank
we do
you.
without it.
Thanks.
Okay, so we are joined now. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves, since you've been working on these leadership and communication skills? Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
You want to go first? Okay. I'm Mary Beth Griffin from Olive Branch High School. I'm Greta Allen from Lewisburg High School.
Yeah, and you're both juniors, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're both two of the 15 students that we've selected to represent North Central and your schools in the Youth Leadership Program, which includes this 3-day workshop where we're at now. And then hopefully later a trip to D.C. if if all goes as planned. No, really, we're taking you to D.C. Just don't commit any major crimes between now and then.
We were bamboozled.
They didn't know that a background check was part of the deal here. I know, it's okay. So you guys have been here you're here for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and this is obviously the second night of this experience. What has this been like for you?
Crazy. I'm doing a lot of things that I didn't expect I would do outside of like my bedroom mirror, like making like public speaking arrangements, I guess. Like I didn't really expect to like have a microphone in my hand and like just talking about passions and stuff. That wasn't something I expected.
Like for me, it was like meeting like so many new people, because I was like, I didn't know that, like it's just weird like just meeting like so many new people even in our county that like I didn't even know. So I feel like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, good. So we started out here just kind of with an icebreaker, which is kind of cheesy all the time, but it's generally fun, and you get to know people. So you've gotten to know people from the coast, from the Golden Triangle area, from the Delta. Is there anything that y'all learned about your state this week?
Oh wow. That there's a lot more in depth of like the Senate and the House, just like there's so many more aspects to it than I expected, and how many bills there are that like being passed, and like the process behind that. I didn't expect it to be so like elaborate. I kind of just thought it was like one and done, like it's kind of like a stamp, you know, and like cartoons, and like it's just passed. I didn't expect it to be like so elaborate.
It's not as easy as the How a Bill Becomes a Law cartoon, is it?
I didn't realize that they stayed so late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, how do they do that? Like, he just, like, pulled out, like, all these snacks from his drawer. And he was like, yeah, because we stayed till midnight. I don't know how they do it.
Coffee.
Towards the end of
coffee.
the session, yeah, absolutely. So y'all are talking about our visit to the Capitol today. So tell us about that. What was the most interesting part to y'all?
How beautiful it was.
Yes.
It was. I walked in and immediately I was just kind of filled with, I don't even know, like amazement, just like all of the artwork and the paintings that however old they were, just like the artwork of just the, what is it, marble? Didn't you say the steps were made out of marble? Like just all of that, just how people created that way back when, and we're getting to still see it now in 2020. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think also, like, it was such, like, a pretty day outside, so it just made it even better, like, on the outside when we were taking pictures. Like, it just looked really nice.
We had a very nice photo shoot.
Yes.
You're saying that because the photographer's right here, right?
Yeah.
All right, so out of this experience so far, you've been here for roughly 40 hours, we'll call it. What's been your favorite thing so far?
Ooh. The food? No, I'm kidding.
The food is good.
No.
It's really good. It's probably all of the friendships that I've made. I feel like I've known, like even Greta, like me and her have just been like texting back and forth and just be like, oh my gosh, it's so cold outside. Like I feel like I've known her forever.
But you didn't know each other before.
Yeah,
this,
I've
right?
never met
Okay.
her before until, and it's like people from like a city I can't even pronounce right now, and I feel like I've been attached to them this whole week.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never seen them before, and I feel like I've known them for years.
Yeah. Like, we were just talking about that at dinner tonight, that it feels like we've been here, like, longer than 40 hours. Like, it feels like we've all been with each
They
other.
threw you right in the middle of everything. You had to figure out each other's names and personalities pretty quickly.
And what animal represents them? Like,
Yeah, I was a bear.
And what animal represents you?
a dog.
Why is that?
Because they're energetic and happy.
And why are you a bear?
I said I was cuddly, but I can also be aggressive sometimes.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't know. It was.
But you use that to your advantage,
Yeah,
right?
like I just, like today when we were eating breakfast with our legislator, like I was very, like I just asked more, I guess, personal questions to like get more in depth about like what I'm going to be voting for in the future. I wanted to know, and I guess that was kind of more an aggressive tactic when people on the other side of the table were kind of just listening and watching, and I don't know. I guess that's considered aggressive.
Well, good. That's what we want to arm you with when you come out of this program, is the ability to ask questions, to question things, and to learn how your government works. And even if you don't aspire to be into politics, this exposes you to things that are going to help you in your adult life, and making decisions on who will lead us in the future. And hopefully that'll be y'all.
And I definitely feel very inspired throughout this trip.
Definitely.
Like, I cannot remember his name. Who are we talking to in the house? that let us sit in his desk.
Representative Faulkner, John Faulkner from Marshall County.
He was like talking to me, like we had a conversation on the side about how I want to get a bill passed eventually for special needs like inclusion, and he was like telling me how like he gave me his business card and like just told me like, well, if you ever need help talking to your legislator or whatever, like just let me know. And I just felt like I didn't realize how personable they were. I kind of saw them as this pedestal that couldn't be touched, and they were just as extremely personable.
Yeah.
They were all really friendly to us, and it was so nice for them to take time out of their busy schedules. As we learned today, it is very busy for them to come out and talk with us and have brunch with us. It was really nice.
Well, good. Well, look, we want to thank y'all for taking time out of your busy schedule during this workshop, because y'all could be eating ice cream in there and playing games.
We are going to wrap up with one final question, because we are hoping to promote this program. What would you like to tell your classmates back home, these people that might be interested in this program, that might be interviewing? What would you like them to know about this experience?
Just go for it. Like, there's so many different people here that are from the, I don't want to say like lowest of their lows. I've talked to people and like they don't have the best grades or they don't come from the best family life, but yet they're here and they're getting out there and talking about their dreams. And it doesn't really matter who you are. You have one of the best opportunities, because you don't have to pay for anything. You are with some of the best people and you have the best experiences. And
yeah, definitely with that. And like you get so many opportunities from this, like meeting other people. Like my brother went through this program and he still like talks with his friends that were with him on this trip. So you just really get to make these friendships that really last a while. So it's a lot of fun too. You get ice cream, so.
And ice cream.
ice cream.
Fried chicken and ice cream. What else do you need, right?
The Southern Beauty.
All right, well, thank y'all so much. We'll be right back with a couple more students. And speaking of fried chicken and ice cream, we're joined with, you had to have a snack on the, that's okay. You know, we welcome snacks on the podcast.
I can't wait to go get mine.
Exactly. Okay, so we have to point out something with Michael trying the fasting. It lasted, what, 10 minutes down here?
Yeah, it's impossible.
He tried
down
the intermittent
here.
fasting. He's like, never mind. There's my favorite foods right here.
I have not eaten breakfast all week, so thank goodness.
Wow.
Okay, so we are joined by Zach and Brenna. You guys are representing Mississippi School for Mathematics and Science, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Where is that school located?
Columbus.
Columbus,
Yes.
Mississippi.
In Lowndes County.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about that school.
Did you want to go? Or?
You go.
Okay, so not Columbus. MSMS it's awesome. That's what I want to say about it first. Is it's just a great place and it's so cool. It's on the campus of the W, and all of what we do, we operate as like part of the W, and we have all of our classes and stuff there. And we live on campus in the dorms, and it's really cool. And we have we share a cafeteria with the W students, and we have our own like mailboxes and all this other stuff. And we have a library, and it's so much, and it's all in the town of Columbus. And it's such a great city. It's so nice. It's such a nice college city, and especially for us, like getting into it, it's a good experience.
Okay. Brenna, how did you end up at MSMS? How do you apply to go to MSMS? Or are you selected?
It's a very complicated process. So basically, you find out about MSMS. They have an application on their website, so you go and you apply, and it's open like I think from like August to like February.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It just closed a little hard.
It just closed, yeah. And so then once you apply, February to like March, they review the applications, see the ones that stand out, and it's a very like competitive atmosphere.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's really hardcore.
Like and then you go in, you're selected for an interview. You get an interview letter telling you what the date is and all that. And you go to the interview, you take your foreign language placement exam if you have that, if you need another foreign language, and you take a math placement exam, and then you get your results around like April, late March.
Okay.
Sounds like college.
It really is.
I have a master's degree, and I'm not sure I could get into this school.
So, but y'all are both from Olive Branch, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what school did you attend before MSMS?
I was at Center Hill.
I was at North Point.
Okay.
North Point?
Yeah, I was at North Point.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
All right. So go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
you.
Okay. We're just gonna talk over each other for a few minutes.
Of course.
No. All right, so you guys came down here. We arrived at this hotel at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday. You guys have been here roughly 40 hours. How's your experience been with Youth Tour?
Crazy, busy,
Yes.
and fun.
It has been
I
so
would
much
say.
fun.
And very like cool to meet different people, I'd say.
Yeah. It's just been it's been non-stop. We've been everywhere, all over the place, all over town, or I guess just to the
And you've
capital.
only been within a 3-block radius.
Yeah,
of-
or it feels like we've been absolutely all over the place.
Sorry.
No, go.
Me and some other people were talking, and we were like, today feels like 3 days. Like it feels like 3 different things. It's crazy.
It is.
Okay, so what has been your favorite so far besides that ice cream bar?
My favorite so far has just been meeting all the people, because there are so many people here. There's so many like cool, like different personalities here, and like seeing them and getting to know them has been such just a great time, and it's nice.
Personally, I really like the breakfast with the legislators.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
all
with
right,
the
we were-
legislators.
so
There we
we're
go.
friends with the legislators. All right. I was about to say, because food has been a pretty popular topic around here.
But the breakfast was good too. I was actually very surprised.
Yeah.
You know, hotel breakfast isn't usually the best, but this one was kind of slapping me hard.
So we did have breakfast with our legislators today, and we spent a good bit of the day, or the morning at least, at the Capitol. What's something that y'all picked up from our experience there at the Capitol? I know we had a tour of basically the entire building. We had a private tour of the House floor. We got to sit in the Senate gallery. So what's your best impression there?
Honestly, I was very surprised at how nice the legislators were, because you know, I don't know, you just always hear the impression of like legislators being so far up there, so like hard to reach, and like I don't know, like almost inhumane, not like in that way, but like superhuman, I guess you could view them as. And so I don't know, it's kind of crazy to see that they're just human like us.
Yeah. I really like the whole, or I guess words. I think I learned the most was just how personal it really is. Like I didn't really know about my legislators until I applied to come here, and after meeting them this morning, I feel like I like know them to a certain extent. Like names elude me.
It's all right.
Representative Darnell.
That's it.
Yes, he knows my grandparents, and he's really good friends with them apparently, and that's awesome. And then Mr. Kincaid. Mr. Kincaid, I talked to him, and his grandson plays on my old school's football team, and he knows, like, not me, but like he knows where I am and like what I'm going through to a certain extent, and I think that's so great, and it's just something I never completely realized that it was so personal like that.
That's great.
Okay. Well, before we wrap up, we're hoping to promote the Youth Tour program. What would you like to your classmates, your friends, the people that might enter this program? What would you like them to know about this week? What's so great about this program?
Don't be scared going into it, because I was very afraid I wasn't like gonna make any friends, and like I was very nervous meeting people, but like the instant we got out of the bus and actually started talking to people, I made so many new friends, and it's just a really great experience if you're looking for new connections.
I think I'm just gonna second that, because I have made so many connections. Like, when we first got here, when we got to the 2 Mississippi museums, I was kind of just like, I don't know these people. I don't know what I'm doing. But then I kind of got separated from the group, and these 3 girls from our group were just kind of walking by, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna join you guys, and I did, and we introduced ourselves to each other, and now we're like cool, and it's awesome.
Great.
How many new Facebook friends have you made, like, in the past 24 hours?
None, because I don't use Facebook. But
the one teenager that has.
No, it's all Snapchat now.
Hey,
it's
that's
all
right.
Snapchat. I've gotten a few people's numbers and
Okay.
Instagrams, and it's really cool.
Okay, so you've made some connections. All right, well, thank you guys for joining us. We'll let you get back to that ice cream. Well, more ice cream. Now that you're almost finished there. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you all so
Thank y'all.
much.
Thank you.